Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to NorCal Cycling, again with my buddy Chris.
Howdy, guys.
We have yet another S-Works bike from Specialized. This is the AETHOS, and this is their second S-Works in a month.
They're just going to keep rolling them out. Just wait till next month's SL8 when you have to sell both of these to afford that. It will be double the price, too.
So what we want to do today here in sunny California is pit the AETHOS, their new offering, against the SL7, their also new offering from a couple weeks ago, and find out who is this bike for, and who is this bike for, and then find out maybe a recommendation for you guys. So hang in there, and Chris,
let's hit the road.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. The $1 million question, Jeff. Is this bike good?
It's very good, Chris. Yes, of course
that was sultry.
Well, because people are going to disagree, right? And by the way, if you don't, this is a very expensive bike.
Incredibly expensive.
It's a great bike. It's a joy to ride. If you disagree, meet me down in the comments. Come at me, bro. I'm ready for it.
We are going to just argue as long and as hard as we can down there. So please join us down there, and we will debate.
So I think the real question is who is this bike for? Because now we have some options, right?
Right.
Specialized has just come out with 2 bikes in the last month. This is crazy. So we have these 2 bikes, the Tarmac SL7, and now this brand new AETHOS. How did we get here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a perfect start to the conversation, because bikes, I think, over the last 5 years have really fallen into this trap of being superlative, right? They have to be the best. If you don't come out with a new bicycle every 2 years that is the best, and that subsequently is so much better than the previous that you must then buy a new one, then your bike is negated out of the box, right? And I think the way that most brands have done that is by integrating complexity into the bike.
Yeah, but with that complexity, there's drawbacks, because complexity means it's difficult to work on, and these are proprietary parts. And granted, I'll give credit where it's due. Specialized has come a long way. This isn't the Tarmac SL7 isn't the aero bike from 3 or 4 years ago.
No.
But there are still routed cables, internally routed cables. There are still proprietary parts, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to work on, quite frankly.
It can be. And so, like, when Jeff goes out and he does his 2,000 watt sprint intervals and he breaks
3,000.
Excuse me. Can we edit that? 3,000 watt sprint intervals, and he breaks a stem off. He has to go to the shop and be like, "Can you order me a stem?" And they're like, "No, we don't have them in stock. They're not going to be in stock till the end of summer." And he's like, "What do I put on my bike?" So that's the drawback.
That's
right?
the drawback, because to get those aero gains, that looks so great. And granted, like, the bike is fast. The Tarmac SL7 is really, really fast. But the drawback is these parts are integrated. They're proprietary. They're hard to come by. They're hard to work on. And yes, Specialized has come a long way, but enter the AETHOS.
Exactly. And I think that's what this bike is. It is the counterpoint to all of that complexity. It is, I've joked about this, that it is the best bike ever produced in 2012. It is a round tube bike that takes a standard stem, a round seat post, everything that was like best technology in 2012, except it builds it with 2020 technology. So you've got great layups. It's an incredibly light bike with disc brakes.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat.
Elephant in the room. Is it as fast as the Tarmac SL7?
No.
Is it almost as fast as the Tarmac SL7?
Yes.
We did science, you guys. It is 99.3487%.
Rounded up.
Rounded up, of course. You can also meet us in the comments for that. We'll argue that point, too.
Right, exactly. We'll show you the methods to that in a peer-reviewed article.
Yeah. But in exchange for this almost marginal drop in performance, you get ease and simplicity.
Yeah, and right, isn't that what this bike is all about? It gets rid of the complexity and makes your life easy, especially if you're not signing up for races. It's such a great bike, right?
It is very, by the way, it is very capable of winning races. I don't want to make it seem like it's not capable of winning races, but do away with all that integration, all the complexity of the integrated bars and the internally routed, all that stuff is gone. So if that's not your jam and you don't need that extra 1% performance, this is a great bike.
Totally. I think it's kind of funny. Like, what Specialized has done here is they have taken the core values of all of those independent builders, the Vanellas and the Speedfakens and the English and all of those brands. And if there was a shootout, this bike, the AETHOS, would beat them all. The only
down.
problem, Jeff, what's the problem?
It's made by Specialized, I think, is their biggest problem.
Right, what a dork.
It's like the, would you say it's like the dorky kid trying to eat lunch at the cool kids table?
So it's like someone has learned every lyric to every song by The Clash, but instead of doing it by listening to the music, they just read the lyric sheet.
Anyways, let's just wrap this up. So, in summary, we have amazing offerings from Specialized right now. They just came out with 2 new bikes. You have the Tarmac SL7, which is all about speed, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Tarmac was after all, I mean, it was built for the World Tour. It was built for racing. It was built specifically with speed in mind.
One bike to rule them all was their tagline.
Yeah, right, come on. It's going straight to Mordor with this. And it's built with that in mind, but you are accepting some complexity. And that complexity, hey, if that's not for you, then we've got other options. So, Jeff, why don't you wrap up for us AETHOS?
Yeah, that's the other option. The AETHOS is the counterpoint to the Tarmac. It's almost all of the performance, but definitely all of the smiles.
Ear to ear all day, baby.
It has a usability and a simplicity we haven't seen in the bike industry in almost a decade. So just a joy to ride. Kudos to Specialized for making another banger. And thanks for watching, guys. Chris, thanks for being on, and we'll catch you in the next one.